2018, my mother was diagnosed with cancer. At the same time, around the same time, my father left our household, and that sparked some a mental illness disorder in my mother. And I remember her going into surgery that day when she had to go for her cancer surgery, and she told me that her biggest fear is that she died, that she died, and there was no one, there won't be anyone to take care of us. So being the oldest brother and the man of the house, I decided to help out with finances and take that burden off my mother's mind. So I worked in a few companies. I worked in the one that stands out the most was Staples. So I went to Staples. I did a very good job. Within about 2-3 weeks, I was their top performer. But no one got to know me. No one got to know my career aspirations, and no one got to know my why. So eventually, I left the Staples, and eventually I found Best Buy. And in Best Buy, it was different. Everyone was able to be themselves. The leadership team seemed like they genuinely cared. And I happened to meet my first mentor, Brian Platchek, which is somewhere around here somewhere. And he got to know me. He got to know who I was and how I worked, and he got to know leadership aspects that I didn't even know I had. And eventually, a year and about 3 months of me being in the company, I got promoted to a home theater supervisor. That's my favorite promotion for 2 reasons. First reason was that my mother worked in wharves for about 20 years. She was able to become a manager there, and the most she ever made there was $15. So $15, that's what I knew, that was the ceiling for me. When I got promoted to my home theater supervisor position. I started at $16.50. So from there on, I knew that the sky was the limit for me. And then the obvious cool thing was that I was able to call my mother and tell her that, hey, I'm making $16.50 now. We're making some real money. So that also started a cool tradition where every time I got promoted, I was able to call her, right? So a couple of years later, I got promoted to ASM of sales. Called her, hey, mommy. That's the first person I call all the time, right? I called her, I told her, we're making, a little bit more money so we could live a little easier. Then a couple of years later, I got promoted to a general manager. And that's where I told my mother, that was the more emotional one. I told her we were set now. You could live whatever way you want. Here's your card. I gave her a credit card. Just told her to take it easy though. Don't go too crazy. Eight and a half years of being a general manager, I had the pleasure to call her last September and tell her that I was promoted to a district manager. At that point, it wasn't even about the money. It's about, we just reminisced about where we were to where we are now. And she was so proud of me. And she didn't want to let me off that phone either. She didn't even let me talk to my wife that much. So I think I'll leave you with a few things. So I'll tell you what my purpose is in life now. So my purpose is to pay forward what my mother did for me. She sacrificed a lot, so that's my job to do with my 2 kids now, my 4-year-old Natalie and my 1-year-old Joseph. My job is to provide them with all the opportunities possible to succeed. My second purpose is my professional purpose, which is to pay forward what this great company has done for me by ensuring that all of my employees and future employees are provided with the opportunities to succeed, right? And Lord knows that public speaking is not my favorite thing to do in my job. But I am proud to be here today and follow some of the great stories that we heard prior to this, because these are stories of people that were lost, right? These are stories about people that were just looking to succeed. And there's there's hundreds of stories in this room around them. And that's our competitive advantage. We're able to take all this raw talent that's in our stores, and we're able to harvest it And that's how we're going to continue to defy the retail odds. I am Manuel Salce. I am Best Buy.
Yeah!